When we made the decision to leave the UK and start a new chapter in the UAE, one thing was never in question: Mr. Winston, our lovely dog. Leaving him behind was simply not an option. He's not just our dog, he's part of the family. The walks, the cuddles, the way he greets us at the door, the way he flaps his ears. Those aren't just things you can replace. And for us, Winston was coming no matter what. Before we left the UK, we tried to squeeze in as many family and friend get-togethers as we possibly could. Every weekend really felt like a mini farewell party, and Winston, of course, was the star guest everywhere we went. They were really hard times. Despite the really hard farewells, we had to focus as a family on the fact that this move was going to be beneficial for all of us and would so be worth it in the long run. We also made time to enjoy the UK countryside we love so much. Scotland, the Yorkshire Dales, those wide open spaces Winston and we adored so much. It was bittersweet knowing it might be a while before we're back in the UK as a family, and sadly for Winston, those moments spent recently were probably his last. He's 12 years old. And the snow, well, something I think Winston will probably miss even more than we will. Of all the places we'll miss, the Yorkshire Dales tops the list, and I'm pretty sure Winston would agree. There's just something about those fields and the scenery that turned him into a puppy again. He sprints around like he's auditioning for a dog food advert, ears flying, tongue wagging, absolutely in his element. For us, the Dales have always been about the scenery and the peace, those rolling hills where time seems to stand still. But for Winston, it's basically Disneyland. Every blade of grass, every rabbit hole, every muddy puddle is an adventure waiting to happen. We know Winston's going to miss the Dales just as much as we will, maybe even more. The Dales brought out the very best of Winston, and leaving them behind feels like leaving a little piece of home. We even managed one last trip to the Cotswolds, a bit of countryside charm, some muddy paws, and yes, we stopped off at Clarkson's farm and his pub. Let's just say Winston didn't care much for the farming, but he was very interested in the pork scratchings. Looking back, it was the perfect way to say goodbye to our little corner of the world, a mix of family, laughter, and the places that mean so much to us, and for Winston. Memories will carry with us all the way to the UAE and beyond. The final days before we left were some of the hardest, I have to say. We said our goodbyes to family and friends, but it was Winston's journey that hit the most. Packing up his toys, his bed, even those little things that carry his scent, it was a reminder that this wasn't just our move, it was his too, and our family wasn't complete without him. When it came to actually moving Winston, we knew this wasn't something we could DIY. The paperwork, the vaccinations, the import permits is complex, and one small mistake can mean delays or worse. That's why we chose PetAir. Don't I sound like an advert? They guided us through every single step, from health checks to the flight arrangements, even down to ensuring Winston had the right crate to travel in safely. Yes, it comes at a cost. For us, it was several £1,000s, but for peace of mind and Winston's welfare, it was worth every penny. Trying to manage this yourself might look like a way to save money, but honestly, it's not something I'd ever recommend. This is about your dog's safety, comfort, and a smooth arrival into a brand new country. Landing in Abu Dhabi and finally being reunited with Mr. Winston truly was an incredible moment, and one that we will savour for the rest of our lives. All the worry, the paperwork, the stress, it melted away the second we saw his little tail wagging. He'd made it. But in truth, the biggest scare actually happened just before Winston even set paw in the UAE. Despite me checking with the letting agent that our apartment was indeed pet friendly, this information hadn't fully reached the management company. Only a day before Winston's arrival, we were told that pets weren't allowed. You can imagine the panic, right? After all the months of planning, the costs, and the thought that he might not have a home here was completely devastating. Thankfully, however, after some very tense conversations, we found a sensible solution. The management company agreed to allow Winston to stay, but only if we paid an additional 17,000 dirhams deposit and signed a pet waiver. For me, it was an easy decision. I paid it without hesitation. The relief of knowing Winston was welcome and secure in our new home was worth every dirham. And that's a really important lesson. For anyone relocating with pets, always confirm directly with the building management, not just the agent. Policies can be stricter than you expect, and catching this ahead of time will save you a lot of unnecessary stress and cost.